Hey everyone, welcome back to the Security Insider. Today we are diving into the one of the most important concepts in KQL, aggregation and grouping. If you have been working with Microsoft Sentinel, you will know how important it is to analyze the large amounts of data quickly, and that's exactly what we will do today. Why it is important? Sometimes looking at the individual logs isn't enough. You need to summarize them. Maybe we want to know how many times a user logged in, how many failed attempts happened, or even track activities over time. That's where aggregation and grouping comes in. We will be using our custom log table, web activity log, for all the example. So let's jump right in. Okay, let's go to our Sentinel. For this video, I have created a new table for custom logs, which is nothing but web activity CL. In this, I have stored few of the logs which are related to file upload or download. Basically, what is aggregation? Aggregation is just a fancy word for summarizing data. Instead of looking at thousands of logs one by one, we can group them together to get a clearer picture. Let's say you have 1,000 login events. Instead of reading them all, you might just want to count how many failed and how many succeeded. That's aggregation. So there are a few of the functions in KQL which can be helpful in analyzing the large amount of data. So let's start with something simple. We want to count the total number of activities based on their status. As you can see here, we have status called as failed, success as well. So we want to count these activities by status. So here we can use an operator called as summarize, and we have option called as count. And by here the field name is status, so we are giving it as status. And if you run it, you can see you are getting the total count. The total success logins are 30 and failed are 18. So out of the whole events that we are having, we are just minimizing the data to something that we can get the clear picture. Maybe if you want to rechange this field name, we can give something as status. uh, Sorry, status attempt. Okay, then as you can see, it was changed. This is the one way where how we can use the count using the summarize. Instead of status, we want with some other field, maybe by user. Let's see. So for user, currently we are only having, yes, one. For this user, we are having three um, login attempts. Might be either it will be success or failure. Might be we want to divide it uh, in a such a way that we want basically two columns. One is for success attempts and another one is failed attempts. Let's do that. So for the first one, we can success login equal to, we have an option, we have a function called as countif. If the field name that we are having as status, right? So status equal to success, and the other table name as failed login equal to countif status equal to failed. Let's try to run it. As you can see, we are getting the data. Success logins are 30 and failed logins at 18, but we just want it by user. So now we will get the data. As you can see, like for this user, we don't see any success logins. We can see the failed logins only. You can see the success logins are 3, and for this user it was 0. So this is one of the count function that we can use to analyze the data. Now instead of just counting the logs, let's group them by time. This is basically super useful if you want to see trends like failed login attempts over the past few hours. So let's see, like, let's remove everything. Okay. Let's say like we just want it only for the success status only. So if you remember my last video, we can use where here, where status equals success. Okay. So now we can use summarize. We will count by bin. Okay. Now try to run this. Okay. You can see here, it basically actually give us the data um, based on this time, how many successful logins are happened around this time. I mean, around this hour we got around 7 successful logins. At this time we got around 8 successful logins. So it is basically having a time frame of 1 hour. For every 1 hour, how many successful logins are happened. So this is how we can use this to check the successful logins over a period of time. Or maybe we can see like how many login attempts are happened. Where action equal to login. Let's try to run it again. Here, if you can see, like we got 5, 4. So we can check the user activity, like how many members have been logged in this 1 hour time frame. So these are the basic functions that we can use. Uh, if you remove here and summarize, you can see like these are the different options which are present um, in this summarize, which can be used to aggregate the different data. That's it. Now you know how to summarize the data, group it by users, and even track trends over the time. These queries are super useful for detecting suspicious activity, understanding user behavior, and monitoring security events in Sentinel. Use summarize to group and count the data, and use count if to count based on the specific conditions. And you can use that bin method to group the logs over by time. Try running these queries in your Sentinel workspace and let me know in the comments how it worked for you.